everyone. Looks like it is very sunny here in Sportsland Sugo here in Murata, Miyagi. The sky is very clear and bright. To the 17 drivers remaining in Split B, welcome everyone to the Sugo Grand Prix finale, the final round of the Formula Hololive Japan qualifiers for the 2024 season. We got 10 drivers already in the Tsuyo Cup. We got 7 drivers already in the Zako Cup. This is the race where we will decide the other 10 who will make the Tsuyo and the other 7 who will make the Zako. Anyways, let's take a look into the Sportsline Sugo track map as an introductory piece. 3.7 kilometers of racetrack, 12 corners in total. And then we have 83 laps of racing to come as well. We are looking at target lap time of 104.784. So we're looking at 104.784. That's the target lap time that these drivers are going to be aiming for. They want to grab the pole position. As I mentioned, the final round of the qualifiers, fifth round of the Formula Hololive Japan qualifier season, and it's currently the last. 18 spots left in the Tsuyo Cup coming into this weekend, but since yesterday 10 have already been decided, we're going to decide 10 more in the Split B side of things, and it's going to be very competitive because we're going to be taking a look into the championship standings soon. So looking into the Split B spotters guide, no changes so far. We got Fumi for Sora, Cashew for Watame, Kizaru again for Murasaki Shion, Asano for Aqua, Jeff Rohan represents Tokyo Amitoa, Daniel Guyana stays strong for Pecora, Ed Sky has been red hot so far for Kazumaya Rohak. So Byung-eun is also pretty good for Flair at the moment. Jake Goodwin wanting to replicate what Okami Mio has been doing in recent times, at least on the racetrack. And then we have the 2023 Formula Hololive Japan champion, Mama-san Reza, for Himamori Luna. He is saying that this is going to be his last race for Himamori Luna for the foreseeable future, because he's lining up a replacement driver, Fire Bashira, to take his place. And Shazrin Reza himself will move over to the international scene where he will be representing Koseki Bishu full-time. Isakaiji Mikolev will represent Sakura Miko. And then we got Daniel Barger for Shimichi Suisei. DuCM currently leading the Formula Hololive Japan Split B standings so far for Omar Polka. Rem Olga for Ozora Subaru. Cheon for Takane Louis. Shaki Reza for Momosa Zanene. And Irie Nakamura rounds up the 17-car field representing Akai Hato. So if we look at the standings here for the splits, we've already have the 10 drivers who have in Split A that will make the Tsuyo as recorded in blue. This is the final standings for Split A. Same goes for the Zako Cup, also on the same split. But for Split B, you can see here it's a very competitive split. At this point, we got drivers who are out of the title contention for Split B, and as it stands right now, we still have Kizuhara Leo, Momashaki Reza, So Byung-eun, Momashaki Reza, Cheon, Ed Sky, and also Maverick DuCM that is still within the mathematical contention to win the Split B title. And everyone, I believe, can be either in the Tsuyo or Zako, because the difference in points between the cut lines are no greater than 200 for all the drivers involved. So you can have drivers like Maverick DuCM fall into the Zako if results don't go his way, and Yuta Asano get into the Tsuyo Cup if results go his way. For the cases the results cannot be final, we will post the updates at the very least on our YouTube and Twitter so that everyone can be in the know. And also to note that sometimes if we are able to process the results immediately, we will show you the results and the finals Split B standings on the stream. But sometimes when it doesn't happen, of course we still have Twitter and YouTube for everyone to follow, so hopefully everyone is in the same page. So with that being said, my name is Mama-chan Reza in the commentary booth, and we will get this qualifying session underway. So it will be a shortened qualifying session, it looks like, because right now we want to save some time on the stream. And so right now we already got the cars immediately going out. We're going to shorten the qualifying session to 5 minutes due to us wanting to experiment on shortening the on essentially shortening the stream time because this is something that we want to experiment. Not the most ideal place that we want to experiment for sure, because this is a active race weekend. But I think the drivers can still cope to only 5 minutes of qualifying. But anyways, first driver out is Maverick DCM for Omar Polka. Of course, he is the championship leader for Split B. He's won the Tsukuba Super Prix, like in last April. Also using the similar strategy that Vlasa Tomashev had used, but to a lesser extent. So here's Maverick DCM exiting SP out and coming into the final corner to start his flying lap here in Sugo. Again, apologies if the microphone quality is worse than last stream, but this is the more consistent microphone that we have available while we try to troubleshoot the existing mic. So anyways, turn 1, right at a 50-meter board before the Autobacks billboard, and then coming to turns 1 and 2, you hold on in 4th gear, and then third corner, you lift off just a bit, and then brake at the hairpin, 2nd gear into turn 4, and then into the S section 5 and 6. 17217 for Maverick DCM coming into turn 7, 3rd gear, and then coming to Rainbow Corner, again staying in 3rd gear, and then coming to this long back stretch. Really stretching the car right now here, DCM. Now coming to SP in and out, treat this as one single section here, hold on in the 4th gear, lift off at SP out, and then into the final corner, and that should be a very quick lap here in Sugo. He's got the second sector time shown, but since he is the first driver, he's one of the first drivers out. Nakamura, of course, is the other driver. Come in. DCM only at a 1:05.754. Something concerning for DCM. We got two drivers. Got at Sky completing his lap. Second place driver currently down 1.5 seconds behind DCM. Danilo Goyena continues to improve. 1:05.602 for the Santa Pecora driver. Yuta Asano will complete his lap. Mikalev will finish his lap. 5th and 7th respectively for Mikalev and Fumi. Cashew qualifies a decent 4th place. Kizuharu Leo up in provisional pole, 1:05.463. Jay Goodwin beats him even further. The Kamimio cars constantly delivering here in Sportsland Sugo, but not before the Korean drivers of Byung-eun and Cheon get up on the front row. The Shiranui Flare and Takanilui cars currently in position to get up there. Now to complete this qualifying session, everyone is going to try to go gung-ho on their laps for as much as they can on this limited time frame. Fumi, who's currently out in the drop zone, who is currently down in 14th. Mikalev is not enjoying this. He's falling down the order even further. Mawakashi in 13th, he is not safe. He will be condemned to the Zako at this rate. And I think Mawakashi thinks he doesn't have anything left. Mikalev improves. He's now up in 12th. Southern Reza safe in the Tsuyo Cup for now, but it's down in 14th, so it will be nerve-wracking to see if Southern Reza could at the very least bring the Luna car to the Tsuyo Cup. "17 drivers here in Sugo. We're looking to see if there is another driver who has already set their laps. That's Mamashakif Reza. He will go for one more flying lap. Everyone will try to go for one more flying lap. But for Mamakashi, I think it's over for him in qualifying. He will qualify no higher than 16. Nairi Nakamura gets up into 12th place. Daniel Barger, though, as we mentioned, forgot to mention, he is now in provisional pole for Hoshimachi Suisei, 1:05.062 for the Suisei driver. Last time he was in Sportsland Sugo, he scored the pole position. But here's the question. With him currently out of the Tsuyo Cup spots right now, he needs to, at the very least, convert this pole into a win to have his best shot of qualifying in the Tsuyo Cup at the very least. So Byung-eun says his time is over. Kizuharu Leo gets up into 3rd place. This Cheon's now down in 4th. More drivers completing their laps. Byung-eun has had enough. Cheon's now up in 3rd place. Shakib Reza and Jeff Rohan complete their lap. Shakib Reza up in 10th. Rohan up in, or rather stays in 13th. Nakamura ends her qualifying session where she is right now. Duciem will end his qualifying run with at the very least an attempt to get himself further up the field. Up in 6th goes Duciem. Daniel Goyena is going to forfeit his run, and I think that should be it for qualifying. Daniel Barger, for the second race in a row here in Sportsland Sugo, is getting the pole position. With this quick qualifying session over, we get to see some very interesting changes in the starting 11. I mean, the starting lineup here in Sportsland Sugo. Looking at Daniel Barger, who has secured his second pole position for Hoshimachi Suisei at Sportsland Sugo, his second in a row here at this track. The big question is that will he be able to convert his pole into a race win? As we're about to get into the starting lineup here in Sportsland Sugo for the Sugo Grand Prix finale, the Split B race, the last race of the qualifier season before we head into the Tsuyo Cup. Daniel Barger in pole position, 105.062, with So Byung lining up alongside him on the front row in second place for Shinoi Flair. Third place goes to Takane Loi in the number 61 Takane Loi car, Yu Chae-yeon. And then we have Kizaru Leo, 4 for Murasaki Shion. Jay Goodwin 5th for Okami Mio alongside Maverick Ducien, the current championship leader, down in 6th place. Yuta Sano 7th for Minato Aqua, with Rim Olgor 8th for Ozora Subaru, and Sky 2nd place in the championship standings, down in 9th for Kazamai Rojo alongside 10th place Daniel Goyena for Usada Kora. Momashaki Reza, who has won his record equaling 3rd Formula Hala Japan race, which puts him equal with his brother Momashazan Reza, will start 11th alongside Ari Nakamura, 12th for Akai Hato. Jeff Ron starts 13th for Takoyami Toa alongside Isakaji Mikolev, who starts in 14th. Sheldon Reza starts his what would be his final Formula Hala Japan race for Himamari Luna in 15th. Remember, he will continue to represent Luna until the end of the 2024 Hala GT3 Japan Series, so that's something that he still has to fight for with Luna. Cashew starts 16th for Tsunama Kiwatame. And Hofumi, the number 1 driver for Toki Nasora, starts last. It's going to be a hill climb for him to get himself into Tsuyo Cup contention. An interesting qualifying session with Barger currently up in the pole position spot, with So Byung-eun currently in 2nd place. Anything can do and anything can go. This is going to be an interesting look-up to see how the race starts here in Sportsland Sugo. Of course, we got drivers already lining up on the grid. And it's going to be Daniel Barger currently on pole position with So Byung in 2nd place. And the race finally gets underway. And Daniel Barger has a very good launch there, manages to extend his lead, and now Chae-yeon gets challenged by So Byung-eun coming into the first 3 corners. Byung-eun tries to defend, Chae-yeon goes down the inside. Jay Goodwin 4th, Leo is in 5th right now. More position changes with Goyena and Asano. Asano beats Goyena, who is now in 8th place. Last place driver is now up in the 8th place spot. Sky is in 10th. Nakamura, Shaka, Reza battling out between each other. Mikolev and Rohan also going side by side. Ooh, they're getting too close for comfort there. Rohan and Mikolev. And with that being said, the leader of this race, Daniel Barger, leads Chae-yeon by 1.2 seconds. Byung-eun 3rd, Goodwin 4th, Leo 5th, Duciem 6th, Olgor 7th, Asano is in 8th, Goyena and Sky round to the top 10, and Sheldon Reza gets past Mikolev. It's not over yet for the driver buying out of Formula Hololive Japan competitions. Lap 1 has been complete. Barger is running away with it for now, as what Rusty Crusher had done, actually. But we're going to check the race thermometer on lap 3, as that's not the time yet. Anyways, Goyena and Asano going side by side. The Aqua versus Pecora cars. And the battle has concluded again in Asano's favor as Asano currently manages to stay up in 8th place. He still has a hill climb to deal with when it comes to getting into the Tsuyo Cup spots. Remember, he is last for Minato Aqua after inheriting the ride from Allen Partoya mid-season. So Asano is desperately trying to find a result here for the Aqua crew. He's trying his best at the moment, but if you look at the recent races at Tsukuba and Suzuka in the qualifying race, it hasn't been to his per usual. But anyways, looking into the situation here, we got Barker still leading Cheon, starting by 2.6 seconds. Speaking of which, let's take a look into the race film monitor to see who's going to pit early and who's going to pit late. Looking at Daniel Barker, he's going to commit to an undercut strategy. And looking at the drivers who did an undercut strategy in like the former Rustin Caraccio, who did it yesterday, he only was good enough to finish inside the top 8 and top 7. Not sure this is a good call for Barker to go for an undercut strategy. Meanwhile, we got Asano, who is going for the overcut strategy, but then again, Salman, who also did the same strategy as Asano, didn't really gain a lot of positions. The difference is that Salman ran 13th, and Asano's currently running in 8th. Cashew, currently down in 16th place, means it might be better comparison. So Asano might be in a similar position as Riba. So looking at drivers in the middle of the cut, who might try to go for a better option here. Looking at maybe the likes of So Byung-eun or Jake Goodwin, Rem Olgor. They're having a better contention to win this race at this as it stands. Anyways, Barker's absolutely running away the distance here. 3.6 seconds is the gap between Barker and Cheon right now. Fumi, unfortunately, is mired back in 17th place. The OG driver for Hololive, is OG, Tokinosora. Hofumi is currently down in last place. And as it stands, he's only going to be in the Zako Cup. Alright, for now the microphone has no problems. Thank you for noticing. That is something to at least be grateful for. Anyways, Cashew and Mikolev currently still mired back in the back of the grid. And then we also have, also just wanted to remind you of the points format here in aerial competitions. If we're using the standard points format and not extended points format, we're looking at Cashew and Fumi outside the points. Mikolev only scoring 1. Sheldon Reza scoring 4. And then Rohan scoring 8th. And then Shakareza scoring 14. Nakamura scoring 22. Sky, I believe, scoring 34. Or was that 32? And then... well, okay, we need to check back on the points format later. But for now, as it stands, Mikolev, Cashew, and Fumi are at serious risk of falling down into the Zako Cup. Shazrin Reza as well, if results don't go his way, and which right now it currently may stand. Rohan is most likely not gonna be good enough to get into the Tsuyo Cup where he is right now. Shaka Reza might be in a safer position. He's currently in 12th. Nakamura is right at the cut line, so she's currently Nakamura's time is gonna be pretty nervy. As Sky won't have too much problems, currently running in 10. Meanwhile, we have Byeon and Cheon having to defend on the outside line at the first 2 corners at Sportsland Sugo, but fortunately for Byeon-eun, he placed his car in a good enough position for him to steal second. But unfortunately, look at Daniel Barker running away into the distance. This is what we should be expecting for a driver who's representing the diamond in the rough, Hoshimachi Suisei. Look at how the car goes. If you might be mistaken that this is actually Suisei dancing to her latest song, Bibi Deba. But no, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is Daniel Barger racing the Hoshimachi Suisei number 41 almost akin like Tsuyo dancing to BB about her own song that she made. Very popular song, 50 million views so far, and apparently the like count is privated, like it's not publicly known. Not sure why that's the case. But anyways, more battles here as Chaeyoung continues to fall down the order. Her race is slowly turning on his head, but Chaeyoung is going to try to defend for all she can for that third place. Forces Goodwin on the outside of that S corner. Goodwin forces himself to back himself up, and Chaeyoung now is in third place and is still in third place. We went on board there with Olgo, who is currently outside of the Tsuyo Cup positions. He is currently 11th after a bright start to the season with his win at the Sepang Grand Prix, his first win for the Subatomo and Ozora Subaru in Formula Hololive competitions. He's going to try to, at the very least, do another thing right for Subaru as he's aiming to get himself into the Tsuyo Cup spots. Oh, and there's another battle there between Goodwin and Chaeyoung. Ooh, Goodwin now this time manages to make the mistake on Chaeyoung. Very great stuff there from the Okami driver. Looks like Wimberley's energy is still there inside that car as Goodwin is currently very, very competitive in that number 30 car. But as you can see here, Pyongyang is now slightly caught up with Barger. And as you can see here, behind Daniel Goyena, there is a sizable train forming. So anything can still happen. Fumi, of course, is at about 100 points behind the cut line. So Fumi needs to do a lot of work for him if he wants to salvage this season, the salvage Formula Hololive Japan season. Well, he could still salvage it in the Zako Cup, but it's way better if he is able to do it in the Tsuyo Cup. But anyways, Goodwin has his personal best right now, 106.412. Daniel Barger still is in complete control of this race. I believe if there are Japanese people watching, もし日本人がこの配信に見たら教えてください。Anyway, we have Daniel Barger currently up in the lead of this race. We're gonna go into the onboard shots here to see how Barger gets his lines. SB in and SB out for Barger as he got into the final corner. As you can see here, 248 kilometers per hour on that final corner. Just shows you the amount of downforce and grip these cars currently have. So right now, he is absolutely fighting and pushing for as much grip as possible in that number 41. But looking at So Byung-eun, he's able to slightly catch up. Looking at the positions that he is in right now, he is currently gaining on him by about maybe half a second a lap. But if you look at So Byung-eun's strategy, he's also going to be in the same strategy as Daniel Barger. So it's not like Lorenzo Ricci, who still ended up winning the race after starting from pole despite being beaten by Vlasa Demashnev of all people, as he was able to incorporate a middle ground pit stop strategy. Not an overcut, but an overcut, but definitely right smack dab in the middle for him to just stay where he is right now. Anyways, Ed Sky now is still behind Goyena, who has dropped a lot of time against Asano, and essentially forms a trolley train. So whoever is able to pass Goyena might just be able to get themselves further in the race. And right now, the drivers behind Goyena are Sky Nakamura, Shakib Reza, Rohan, Shazran Reza, Mikolev, Cashew, and Fumi. And here's Shaki Reza trying to make a move against Irene Nakamura down the inside. Shaki Reza makes his move. Nakamura gets shuffled off wide. And now Jeff Rohan's going to try to get into the mix. Goes around the outside there. Rohan tries to stick it around the outside. Nakamura's forced on the defensive. And the defensive line she has and forces Rohan to stay off. And now Rohan has to defend against Shaki Reza, who is currently trying to make his what would be final race for Himemori Luna, a memorable one in Formula Hololive Japan, but right now he's still down in 14th. Anyways, if anyone else is probably missing, if you look at the steering wheel, if you look at what the steering wheel says, and you can see here the helmet and the hashtag 07AS33. It's our campaign to commemorate the life of Angela Sims, who unfortunately lost her life due to some unfavorable circumstances. But meanwhile, before we continue any further, there was a battle between Edsky and Daniel Goyena, and Edsky is now up into 9th place. Great move there by Edsky, and now his eyes are set on catching up to Asano. Anyways, back at the Angela Sims story, she unfortunately passed away a few days ago, earlier this week, and of course everyone in the ARO community has been shaken by the news, and as a sign of tribute and respect, we have basically have everyone, the steering wheel, have the decal hashtag 07AS33 in as a tribute and in memory of her time in her life, as well, especially in her ARO career. Here's Mamachan and Rizzo is on board number 31 Himemori Luna car. You can see here Goyena is still stuck. Not finding a lot of time against other drivers. He is still able to defend in the best abilities that he can right now. Of course, he is still inside the top 10, but if he gets passed by Shaki, it's going to be over. He's a reigning race winner, trying to get close to Goyena here, but right now nothing comes of it so far. So I'm not sure if Reza is still going to try to push on. Here's Allgore trying to catch up to DCM, who is still behind. Allgore needs to make a statement here in this race if he wants to get himself into the Tsuyo Cup right now. Allgore currently in 7th place, he's trying to get closer and closer and closer. He is somewhat getting closer, but has lost a good amount of time and is not going to make a move down into turn 1. Here's Nakamura trying to force a counter attack against Shaki Reza down the inside. Shaki Reza is forced on the defensive line, but if Shaki Reza could still hang on around the outside, it would mean that Shaki Reza is able to defend his position. And defend Shaki Reza is able to. Nakamura now down in 12th place. Shaki Reza now back up in 11th. Here's Nakamura trying to catch up back into Shaki Reza in that Momosa Zunene, number 77. 14 laps have completed with Daniel Barger still in complete control of this race. Hofumi is still... Actually, he's losing touch to Muhammad Kashu. It's very, very concerning for the postseason champion of 2023 last year. For the OG driver for Hololive Tokinosora to be quite down here is absolutely concerning. And here's something you don't see every day, because Leo actually recording up a decently good performance there in Sportsland Sugo. Trying to catch up to Yu Che-yeon. Still not close enough there, Leo against Cheon, and then we have Olgor and Lucien also maybe thinking of their own battles. And you can see here, Sky has already pulled a 5-second gap to Goyena. That just shows you how much Goyena doesn't have the pace right now. By looking into the strategies right now, Goyena is going to go for the long run. Actually, in the middle ground of the long run, but still, he's not going to be pitting soon enough in this race. Some other battles that we want to take note: Olgor currently in 7th place against Maverick Duciem, who is currently in 6th. Here's Shaka Reza also trying to get close. And well, if last race has anything to say about, we're going to be seeing Shaka Reza actually pitting quite early in this race to go for the undercut strategy and see if he could gain some positions in the middle of the race. And of course, he is going to basically trade the end of the race for the middle of the race as far as positions go, but he's probably going to gamble for positions gain in the undercut strategy. He's going to be said to be one of the earlier drivers to pit. Same goes for Mikolev and Barger. Oh, there's a battle here between Sky and Asano. Sky now gets himself into 8th place. He makes the move against the Minato Aqua driver. And Sky is going to try his luck to actually get himself into Duciem's position. Rim Olgor still separating between Sky and Duciem, the current top 2 in the split B standings. Of course, we're not just talking about the Tsuyo Zako drivers, well, prospective Tsuyo Zako drivers. We're also going to be talking about the prospective drivers who might be the winner of the split B title. Here's Kizuhara Leo. Still very far away from Cheon, so no move to be done there. Meanwhile, we have Duciem and Olgor also coming across the line, but unfortunately they are also quite far away. Shakareza trying to get close to Goyena, and as you can see here, he's okay for now. Nakamura against Jeff Rohan, Shazin Reza, Mikolev. There's Cashew in 16th place. Fumi is absolutely fallen off. And as you can see here, he doesn't have the heaviest fuel load, but he is very much off the pace. Absolutely concerning, especially with Asano currently in 9th place, gaining some points against Ho Fumi. This will mean that Fumi is actually going to be at serious risk of actually finishing last. Oh, and here's Rim Olgor. He gets very close there. If he can get around a 10th of a second, he is getting it in there into the 10th of a second there against Duciem. But here's the thing: Duciem and Olgor are both catching Kizuhara Leo, who is actually lost touch to Cheon. And speaking of So Byung-eun, who has pulled away with an 11-second gap against Jake Goodwin, is now about to be 1 second behind Daniel Barger, who has been very good this race, managing to convert his pole position into the race lead at the moment. But he, of course, looking at Barger and Byung-eun's and So's stats, they will be pitting in the next 10 laps from what we are seeing. Lap 31 and 32 might be their window for them to make their pit stop. Here is Olgor. Ooh, getting very close. to DCM, but right now nothing is coming out of it so far, and as you can see here, Olgor gets very close. Again, nothing comes out of it. Lots of Hololive members here have made the switch to bright uniforms and not looking back. In other words, in recent live concerts that they have taken part, they prioritize use of the bright uniforms, sometimes being exclusive to the bright uniforms only, as far as the two idle uniforms are concerned. Fumi in recent times, Tokinosora in recent times, Watame, Miko, and also Towa, and then also Aqua. Maybe Roha, if her next live concert in the coming days only sees her use the bright uniforms. So Subaru, but Polka, she did use the original uniforms, I believe, but no, she didn't use any. Shion, who has also exclusively been on bright uniforms since the 4 Fest. Louis, who have only used the bright uniform as far as the two idle uniforms go in her recent live concert. At the very least, she's up there inside the top 5. Okami Mio, too, who have not used the original uniform since the 4 Fest. Sharonoi Flair 2, as well as Hochimachi Suisei, who have not used the original idle uniform since the end of the 2022 year. And since 2023, she has only used the bright uniforms, and of course she is proud to use the bright uniforms. She, I believe, tried to be with the battle dance multiple times in bright uniform. And at the very least, Daniel Barker is showing up. Daniel Barker with the fastest lap, 1:05.751 for Barker. The Hoshiomi currently up in the top spot right now. Here's Shaka Freza trying to catch up to Etsky, and right now Etsky is a bit further back than you'd like, and as you can see, Olgor isn't able to get the move done into turn 1, unfortunately, and as you can see. So as it stands, everyone is just going to try to stay focused, and then we all get to see actually Daniel Goyena actually finally firing up in this race, firing up all of the cylinders, all 4 cylinders in that car, to actually slowly catch up to Asano, who have actually lost a good amount of time. 1:08 last lap for Asano, and for Goyena and Shaki Breza, 1:06. So Asano might just be the new driver who will be setting up this trolley train. And another fastest lap by Daniel Barger, 1:05.7 flat for the Hoshiomi member. And Olgor trying to get himself up into the battle against Maverick DCM. DCM not far from Olgor's grasp, and as you can see here, and here's the move now. Daniel Goyena and Hirota Asano, an inside line move into turn 1 with the slipstream, and now puts Asano down in 10th place. Goyena's now up in 9. Asano's Tsuyo Cup hopes are becoming even more bleak as he loses more positions. Here's Asano's on board as he's trying to defend against Shaka Reza and Irie Nakamura and Jeff Rohan. And here comes Shaka Reza making a move down the inside on Asano. Down the inside with 2 Negiyu drivers making the move, and Shaka Reza is now inside the top 10. He's now up into the top 10 spots, and as it stands right now, he will be safe in the Tsuyo Cup positions. You can tell that he is very excited about this move. You can see here, he's making a move now. He's now trying to catch himself back up to Goyena, and now Irie Nakamura is going to be making a move into Rohan, and also Nakamura making a move against Asano. Rohan tries to defend against Shaka Reza, although actually, and as you can see here, Asano was 9th starting this lap, I believe, and now has fallen down into 10th place, losing 3 positions in I believe one lap. Not what he is looking for. Looking back at the broadcast charts, Asano's now lost 5 positions from his starting position, and now we have Jeff Rohan being very aggressive there. It has to back off in the middle of the corner. Shazan Reza is ready to pounce on the opportunity, but is he close enough? Making the move there, Shazan Reza on the inside of Jeff Rohan for him to get up into 13th place. Great racing here in Sportsland Sugo. The tires are of course starting to beg for mercy. Look at the condition of the front right. And now Shazan Reza with a pretty good run to make a move there on Hyuta Asano to make up 2 positions in about over 1 sector. Shazan Reza still has what it takes to show his potential. Fumi now makes his move into Mama Cashew. Fumi's back in the race. Now has a battle on who gets the silver spoon, and Fumi has to back off. Cashew's defensive acumen is showing up. So Byung-eun fastest lap now. He's taken it away, I believe. Or was that Daniel Blogger who set the fastest lap of the race? But we'll have to check on that. Blogger still has control of this race. Now Hyuta Asano battling against Jeff Rohan. 2 start-end members battling in the back end of the grid, while the one of them is up front. Again, I still don't understand. I don't understand why they still want to name themselves Start. I know that they started off this whole trios thing as an Apex team that wants to play competitively just this once. And now, speaking of competitiveness, here comes Asano and Rohan, and especially Mykolaiv and Asano. Asano's race is falling apart at the seams. Meanwhile, Fumi's gonna try to make his move stick in 16th place, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to stick. Asano, what a nightmare few laps it's been. He was in 9th, he was in 8th, and he's now down in 15th place. Daniel Barger fast slot 105.679. Back to Asano. It's a nightmare run for him. He is currently down in 15th. Not much hope for him to get into the Tsuyo Cup now. And this is even saying it kindly. Meanwhile, the gaps between 1st and 4th have opened up quite dramatically. Byung-eun and Barger 2.7 seconds. Byung-eun and Goodwin 12 seconds. Goodwin and Cheon 12 seconds. And here comes another move there. Here is Olgo trying to defend against Ed Sky. Ed Sky round the outside. Has to back off. Here's the Truly Train where I might want to talk about here. Yu Cheon down in 4th place. Having to defend against Leo, Duciem, Olivor, Sky. And here comes the other drivers. Goyena, Shakif Reza, Nakamura, and Shazan Reza now trying to catch up. And here we have the first pit lane activity. We have Daniel Barger coming in. If he can set equal lap times to what he did in his first stint, then he should be good to remain there in the race lead. So Byung-eun currently inherits the lead. Goodwin up in 2nd as Barger still takes a good amount of time to serve his time in the pit lane right now. Last race out, the overcut strategy showed its prominence. Here comes Duciem against Kizuhara Leo. Down the inside, Duciem goes. Into turns 1 and 2. He's able to make the move stick, but Kizuhara Leo is ready to fight back to defend. Around the inside goes Kizuhara Leo to take back his position. Shakir Reza Mykolaiv also coming into the pits. Daniel Barger is going to be stuck in traffic and crucially behind Fumi, and that is going to be the case. Barger absolutely needs to be able to clear these lap cars as soon as possible if he wants to maintain his hopes. Right now, first 3 drivers already. Just wanted to pause for a while. There was a slight error in the stream, but I think we're still good. I think we're still good. So anyways, back into the race so far, there was a headache. I mean, or rather a heart attack that there was some disruption in the internet, but for now we are still good. Momashaki Reza, we're back in this race. And here comes Daniel Barger, who have lost a good amount of time to Hofumi. If Barger can at the very least find some pace like he did in the first stint, he should be able to get himself up into where he should be. He already beat Shakavreza in the second Mikhailov by about 46 seconds, but he's going to need to find more time. Goodwin has a 1:06. Same good for Byung-eun, I believe. Here's Barger, and here comes Sky and DCM. Sky now goes down the inside to get himself into the top 5, and as it stands right now, with the difference between 5th and 6th being about 16 points, I think it may be enough for Ed Sky to win the Split B Championship. So we're going to be checking back on our notes here, and as it stands right now, it's not going to be enough. Sky needs one more position, and he needs to overtake Kizuhara Leo if he wants to win the Split B Championship for Kazamai Rojas. At Sky having a dream run in the season so far, scoring 413 points in 4 races. That Sky currently still trying to gun for one more position, as that Sky's gonna try to having a very good run there against Kizuhara Leo. Kizuhara Leo, I think, struggled at the exit of that final corner. That Sky's gonna make a move down the inside. This could be the move that seals the Split B title. Oh, that Sky really diving down the inside of Kizuhara Leo, and he should be able to make the move stick. Yes, he does. As Shazan Reza and Jeff Rohan get into the pit, so Ed Sky continues on in 4 places now. His eyes are now set on that podium position. He's not done yet with this battle. He has yet to win a Formula Hololive, right? But I think he should be fancied for a win here in Sportsland Sugo. Not sure why the Twitch stream is just has remained black, but please let me know in Twitch if it's still okay, because right now we are still live and there is a viewer. Because mostly I'm watching on YouTube, but yeah. But anyways, we still have this race underway. We still have Sky actually catching up to Cheya at a rate of 9, and actually looking at the driver behind, that's Isakaji Mikolev, who has already made his pit stop. Shakareza already down in 16 after making his pit stop. Shakareza has beaten his brother actually, and crucially Rohan does beat Shazan Reza as well. Daniel Barger still leads, and unfortunately, looking at Kashio and Asano's on that map actually trying to get himself back in contention. He's now up into 10th place. Barger is a second slower than, I believe, Byung-eun and Goodwin. Definitely something to be concerned at. Yes, it is. Barger still stuck behind Hofumi. Barger really needs to attack. He's having this good run at Rainbow Corner, and coming into Horseback, it's not going to be good enough for Daniel Barger. Still going to be stuck behind traffic. Could this be another win taken away from the Hoshimachi Suisei number 41? Perhaps this ride is still the diamond in the rough. Daniel Barger still currently on the hunt. Meanwhile, Cashew is going to try to fight one back against Asano. Cashew has made a very good exit off of that final corner on that slipstream down the inside. Coming into turn 1 to Cashew against Asano. Ooh, that's very good there. Good driving between the two. And looks like Asano is going to be able to defend so far. Ooh, yes, that looks like Asano is able to defend. Pops onto the curve for good measure. Meanwhile, Ed Sky is still on the hunt for that podium position against Cheon, who have lost 28 seconds, now 29 seconds to Goodwin in second place. I hope we're back. I think we should still be good. Looking at the current bit rate right now, if we are good, so we should be able to let me just resume the stream. So apologies for the slight disconnect. We are able to reconnect. There was a slight internet outage, so fortunately we're able to resume this race with currently no issues. So we are now back in Ed Skies is on board recently, just so we were about to get into that. So anyways, Ed Sky currently in 4th place, trying to catch up to Yu Cheon, who is currently in 3rd, looking into the drivers who are going to be making the pits. So Byung-eun is now coming into the pits. However, with Daniel Barger losing a lot of time due to lap traffic, he's not actually gaining a lot of time against Ho Fu Mi. Looking at Daniel Barger's last lap, 107.979 compared to Ho Fu Mi's 109, which is Zo Byung-eun. With him hitting later, he should be able to get up front, beating Daniel Barger comfortably. So Byung-eun is now finally making his move out of pit lane right now. Look at where Daniel Barger currently is. He's currently at horseback. So Byung-eun has 2nd place. Daniel Barger again with another strategy disaster class. For him to lose the positions like that, that has got to be absolutely gut-wrenching to say the least. So anyways, So Byung-eun currently 2nd place. With Daniel Barger currently almost out of contention, and with it he might, and just his luck, Fumi finally comes into the pits. But if Daniel Barger still isn't able to rack up 106s for him to at least get into the top 5, that will be him out of the Tsuyo Cup. Looking at his first sector times, Daniel Barger finally sets a 17.6, so he's going to try to get himself salvation in this race. Of course, he is now over 45 seconds, I believe, behind So Byung-eun, or rather Jake Goodwin. Jake Goodwin, of course, has yet to pit in this race. So right now, the battle for this race lead may go down to Byung-eun, Cheon, and Sky. But Daniel Barger almost out of the equation. But Daniel Barger is immediately trying to make amends. He is good until the end of this race. You can see here the fast, very quick first sector, a very quick second sector to set himself back into the low 107s. So Barger still has something left to fight for. At the very least, he should be able to beat Cashew, Asano, Goyena, Olgor, Duciem, Leo, Sky, and maybe Cheon and Sky. But for his battle against Byung-eun, I think it's as good as done. Unfortunately, unless he could find some 106s or 105s in the remaining few laps. Just Cashew against Asano. Here's also Goyena trying to catch up to Olgor, and Duciem having a very, very poor run. Olgor might think of a move down the inside. Olgor's thinking of a move down the inside. He's making a move down the inside. Shuffles Olgor off. And looks like Goyena's gonna be up to the task as well, but Duciem has to take some defensive maneuvers. Duciem now down in 7, Ed Sky in 4. One hand on the trophy of the Split B title, the championship, to Ed Sky. The Iroha step showing to be very, very effective for Sky, as he's now aiming to at least get himself into 3rd place. Looking at Cheon, who is being held up by Isekaijin Mekolev. Will he be thinking of a move? That is a question that he might be thinking. He was about to reach the halfway stage of the Sugo Grand Prix. Here comes Yu Cheon to clear the lap car of Mykolaiv with the help of the slipstream. She's gonna try to use the Sakaramiko car as a pick for Sky to cause a bit of trouble, but you can see here is actually the Sakaramiko car who's causing trouble to Yu Cheon, and as you can see, Yu Cheon gets shuffled off, and she might be under pressure against Sky. Jake Goodwin currently controls this race, continues to have banging 106s. It's a Hoshimachi Suisei number 41 on pole position the last time we were at Sportsland Sugo, well, in the 2023 season. And the last winner at Sportsland Sugo in 2023 was the driver for Okami Mio. Back then it was Zeke Wimberly. Jake Goodwin is in a serious position to replicate that drive that Zeke Wimberly did in the Sugo race of 2023, the penultimate race, of course, of the 2023 Formula Hololive Japan season. And there's another side-by-side battle, but this time it's Cheon against Mykolaiv once again, but this time Cheon is still, Cheon is unable to clear Mykolaiv, and now Sky is still on the hunt. Remember, Sky is not going to be pitting until the next 10 laps, and Cheon won't be pitting in the next 11 or 12 laps. So they're on the same strategy right now. And here comes Jay Goodwin finally in the pits. So Byung-eun is currently stuck behind the lap car of Ho Fu-mi. And Sheldon Reza currently down in 15th place after the earlier pit stop. Again, not the strategy that he's looking for. He's currently one lap down to So Byung-eun, who is in a serious position to steal this race lead, but not until Jay Goodwin is able to get his strategies back. But you can see here Jay Goodwin is able to get into the first bend of the exit of the pit lane for him to maintain the race lead. This is like the Sugo Super Prix all over again. Well, you can see here So Byung-eun still stuck behind Ho Fu-mi. Jay Goodwin has some space for him to work with. Jay Goodwin is going to be the favorite to win this race unless So Byung-eun or Sky or Yu Cheon have anything to say about it. Jay Goodwin very, very comfortable up front. A proper Miofa he is. And of course with a dedicated member running the bright uniforms. Akami Mio said to have her fourth win, or rather her third win in ARO competitions, her second in Formula Hololive, if Jay Goodwin can stay where he is. And looking at Jay Goodwin again, he actually has a pretty good season. He is in the middle ground of the Tsuyo Cup spots. And if he does win this one, it still won't be enough for him to win the Split A title, even by mathematical shot, because he is already mathematically eliminated from title contention. So it still has to go to Sky or Maverick Ducien. Ducien's now down in 7th. Sky's now up in 4th. Cheon, however, is up in 3rd, but because her gap between herself and Ducien and Sky being about, at the very least, 60 points, Sky really needs a win and hope that both Cheon needs to win and hope that both Sky and Ducien fall outside the top 5. Daniel Barger gets himself back up into 11 with Mykolaiv currently outside the points and Danilo Goyena having a pretty good race. Kizora Liu and Jake Goodwin having good races. Shakif Reza now outside now currently down. Barger is still only able to score 22 points as it stands. And as it stands right now, it still won't be enough. He needs at least 10th to displace Goyena. And maybe I think Barger has a good shot of it, at the very least, getting up into 9th. He just needs to pass Cashew and Asano, who have yet to pit. Meanwhile, Goyena, as we're saying this, is about to pass Maverick DuCM, who has been somewhat struggling this race. Could this be his split B championship? Could this be his split B championship aspirations undone? That's something that we might want to ask. Meanwhile, Cashier and Asano going side by side. Both drivers who are currently being condemned to go outside of the Tsuyo Cup. Both of them still going side by side. And it's going to be close between the two, nearly making contact. You saw them both straddling the curbs at the S-shaped curve. And now, Daniel Barger is going to be seizing this opportunity with fresher tires to clear Asano as soon as possible. He needs to at least pass Mama Cashew, at least to get himself closer and closer. But of course, Goyena is going to score more points. He will at the very least try to pass Mikolev for the Tsuyo Cup spots. Of course, sacrificing a Miko member to another. Here comes DuCM having to defend against Goyena once again. And predictably, DuCM is able to defend. Jake Goodwin controlling this race at the front, as we've seen since his first since his pit stops have done. Dual Kamimio car showing the capabilities that he has had. Of course, Goodwin, it didn't need to made his debut like earlier this season. This is his debut campaign in Formula Hololive Japan. And it's going to be very nice to see Jake Goodwin finally winning it all in this type of stage. A Formula Hololive race with Okami Miu most likely watching. Meanwhile, we have that Sky. Oh, you can see here Cheon's absolutely struggling here. Sky is going to try to get himself very, very close there. Is he close enough? He's thinking of a move down the inside. But right now, Sky has to think of backing off. He needs to think about his position. He knows that he is going to be able to win the Split B Championship where he is right now. Olgo currently up in 6th place, also fancying his luck to try himself in a Tsuyo Cup contention. Barger needs more positions. Cashew is not providing a lot of help here. Cashew is actually quite slower than DuCM, and Barger's of course trying to catch up to Cashew, but the dirty air and the tire wears are starting to kick in for Barger, so Barger really needs to put his foot down to the floor. And here comes that Sky once again at the backstretch, coming into horseback. And you can see here at Sky really trying to get close there to Cheon once again, but right now Cheon's able to get a better exit, or rather a comparable exit at Rainbow Corner. And now in the final corner, you can see here these cars absolutely raging at the final corner here with a lot of speed that they carry and all that. Here comes that Sky once again, thinking we'll move down the inside, but he's still too far back. Leo, Olgor, and Goyena. Ooh, really thinking of something, but right now nothing is coming out of it so far. Will there be more drivers coming into the pits? Olgor is looking to pit in the next 4 to 5 laps. This guy's going to be pitting in the next 6 laps. Cheon's going to be pitting in maybe 5 to 7 laps, depending on how the pit stop strategies go. Well, pit stop cycles have yet to conclude, and then just wanted to take a look at the progress chart, or rather the pit stop chart, comparing the drivers who have made their pit stop. Young-eun and Goodwin currently second and first respectively. Barker's still good enough for third if he's able to find some time against Cheon, Sky, Leo. Maybe he could still pass Olgo, Goyena, Duciem, and Cashew for him to stay within contention, but you can see he's still stuck. Both Reza brothers a lap down. Shakir Reza not going to be able to score points at this stage, and given the tight points margin, Shakir Reza might be the one who is going to be out of Tsuyo Cup contention. I just wanted to check on the drivers. Yeah, we have confirmation that Olgor and Goyena have finally come into the pit lane right now to have their car serviced. Barger now is up back in 8th place. And with it, this would mean that actually Barger should actually score a few more points than Olgor and Goyena. And this would mean that Barger is to, at the very least, be able to get himself into the CO Cup, where his brother-in-law Crystal Solomon has failed to do so. Daniel Bargers are going to, at the very least, try to avenge his fallen teammate, at least in arms, as drivers represent members who have been in Inonaka. And looking at Cashew, who's currently in 7th place, Duciem 6th, Leo 5th right now. Barger is still stuck behind Mama Cashew, is going for the extreme overcut strategy, and as you can see here, Barger has been able to make any inroads. The extreme overcut strategy for Mama Cashew is showing, as does Hyuta Asano, who is also going for the extreme overcut strategy. Barger just needs to hope that he is able to capitalize on, at the very least, Duciem, Leo, Sky, and maybe Cheon if he can be lucky, so he's at the very least could be able to score a 3rd place run. Here's that Sky trying again against Yu Cheon. Both of them, of course, in just about equal strategies. Looking to race field monitor. No call to come into the box yet. Oh, you can see here. Oh, Cheon had to break in the middle of the corner, almost making Ed Sky get into an evasive action. Ed Sky. And then there's Kizaru, Leo, and Maverick Duciem right behind. So it's still going to be pretty nervy. Duciem, of course, looking at Duciem, he is yet to make his pit stop. Both Reza brothers have already made their pit stop, and they're considerably behind, unfortunately. But they should be able to steal some position against Olgor and Goyena, and also Nakamura, who I believe is good until the end of this race. Ed Sky against Yu Cheon. Ed Sky this time having a very good run off of the final corner, but will he be close enough? He is getting close. Will he take a move? Not gonna be the case right now, as Sky currently is in 4th place still. And given that Duciem is in 6th, that would mean Sky has 130 and Duciem has 92. This would mean that Ed Sky will be the Split B champion. If we're looking at the maths right, Ed Sky will be the Split B champion. And down the inside, maybe goes Sky, but right now it's not going to be the case. However, there is So Byung-eun currently in 2nd place. Also, did you know that these Formula Hololive Japan cars actually have power steering, and compared to Formula Hololive International, who does not have power steering, it's actually going to be quite. It's actually some good tidbits to look at. And here we have Cheon and Sky pitting at the same time. Duciem, of course, has yet to pit. Looking at other drivers who will make their rounds here, Daniel Barger has, of course, beaten Ed Sky and Yu Cheon. This would mean that the remaining drivers who have yet to pit in front of Barger is, of course, Leo, Duciem, and Kashi. So he should have, at the very least, a guaranteed podium finish. Actually, just wanted to check on the stats on whether or not Barger has actually finished on the podium before. This is going to be some interesting tidbits to because if we're looking at the 2023 stats, if we're actually going to be if we're going to take a look into it, looking at the number 41 cars' stats, who haven't been the best. Actually, Daniel Barger has had a podium in Tokachi, at least in the first part of the 2023 season. And on the postseason, unfortunately for Barger, he hasn't been able to replicate that performance. So Barger is going to be set to have his first podium finish for Hoshimachi Suisei since the Tokachi Super Prix Split B race. This is Aurelio coming into the pits now. Daniel Barger is now up into 5th place. And then as it stands right now, Barger will make the Tsuyo Cup. Olgor's down in 10th. Olgor's making a move on Nakamura. And as you can see here also, Ed Sky making a move on Kizuhara Leo. Duciem, remember, has yet to pit in this race. Mama Cashew and Duciem, as we said this, is finally being called into the pit lane right now to have their car service. Daniel Barger will finally be unleashed, but at what point? Because he was stuck behind Mama Cashew and Hofu Mi ever since he completed his first pit stop. Daniel Barger now gets into 3rd place. I believe that's not the last of the drivers who will be making their pit stops. Yuta Asano is the last driver to make the pit stop, and he will be pitting at a very, very late time. So Asano's going to take his time to be at the front for as long as he can. He's going to monitor the gaps between himself and Ed Sky right now, and provisionally we will show you the progress chart as it shows. Barger losing 2 positions, Jake Goodwin gaining 4 positions from his starting position of 5th. And here's Goyena, and then we have Cheon and Duciem. Duciem exiting down in 11th place, with Ed Sky currently up in 5th place. Jake Goodwin can go as high as, I believe, 3rd or 2nd, and it's still going to be Ed Sky who will be winning the Split B Championship as it stands. Here's Daniel Goyena making a move against Rim Olgor. There's a Pecora car on the attack, the Subaru car on the defense. Ooh, pushing off Rim Olgor off, and you can see here Rim Olgor's not going to take it lying down. He's going to counterattack immediately. And there they go. Meanwhile, looking at Yu Cheon against Irene Nakamura. Guess they're still not 0.8 seconds. Cheon having fresh tires. Duciem also having fresh tires right now. And right now, Barger's has gapped to Byung-eun 15 seconds. But you can see Byung-eun is now stuck behind the lap car of Hofumi, is currently mired down in 14th place. And between Barger and Byung is, of course, Mohammad Shazan Reza and Shakib Reza and Isakaiji Mikalev. So Barger's going to have something to hope that he could play the lap cards easily, and he could pass So Byung-eun using a lap car as a pick. Jay Goodwin, however, is still in control of this race. Nothing to write off about for him. He's had a very good race. Not a perfect race in any capacity, but it's still a very, very serviceable race for the Okami Mio driver. As you can see here, Danilo Goyena has been on the attack again, but Rim Olgor still manages to defend. Oh, really on the attack once again. Here comes Goyena. But too far back is the answer. Cheon against Irie Nakamura. Speaking of Nakamura, she's gained 3 positions from 12. Sky gains 4 positions from 9th. Cashew Games currently is gaining 4 positions from 6 or 16th. And Asano has gained, interestingly enough, 3 positions from 7th. But now he's coming into the pits finally. It's going to be at least a brief pit stop here. So it's not going to take too long. I think there's another battle here between Danilo Goyena and Rim Olgor. Olgor's going to try to fend off Goyena, and that's going to be the answer for him. Still side by side, the two goes. They have to take it easy on this corner. They rub wheels. Great racing. Very, very great racing. And meanwhile, we have Asano now back into 13th place with very fresh tires. He should be able to attack. And so I think that should be all drivers who have made their pit stop. Everyone has made their pit stop. Asano, the last driver to make his pit stop. So it's now going to be a sprint to the finish. So right now, the running order: Jake Goodwin leads, So Byung-eun in 2nd, Daniel Barger is in 3rd, Sky 4th, and Kizaru Leo 5th. Goyena is in 6th right now, Olgor 7th, Cheon 8th, Nakamura 9th, DCM rounding out the top 10, and as it stands right now, so Daniel Barger will make the Tsuyo Cup, and Sky will win the Split B title. And here's a nervy part. Isakaji Mikole and Momashaka Reza are going to be sweating their bodies out with their non-points paying positions. Shadrin Reza will be quite nervy, but he does have some points accrued. But given that the likes of Barger are now inside the podium positions, he is in a serious position to overtake actually Momashaka Reza. If you look at the results, he's going to go 380, and he will overtake Momashaka Reza and at this rate. And looking at Rim Olgor, who is currently in 7th, this would mean that I believe he will be scoring 72. This would mean that Rim Olgor will still be behind Momashaka Reza. So Byung-eun will overtake Shazrin. Shaka Reza will not be able to overtake him. However, Kizuhara Leo has a good chance too, given that he's currently in 5th place. Jay Goodwin will overtake. Jay Goodwin, Kizuhara Leo, Daniel Barger, with Mikalev currently outside the points, and Danilo Goyena currently in 6th place. Shadrin Reza will be set to lose about 6 positions, so he will be very much in the, it will still be very much in the cut line, above the cut line, but it will be very nervy. Shakareza, on the other hand, needs something in these final few laps here. Of course, the tires are not going to be cooperating, so Shakareza is going to give it all he's got in order for him to make his way into the Tsuyo Cup. There's DCM currently on the move against Irie Nakamura, currently battling it out for 9th place. Barger's catching up to So Byung-eun right now. Here's Barger. Now the gap's closed out 10.5 seconds. He should still be able to get this second place from Byung-eun. As you can see, Byung-eun is absolutely struggling against Fumi. And remember, 3 lap cars separate between Byung-eun and Barger. And if Barger can clear those 3 lap cars, he will be at the crosshairs. He will have So Byung-eun on his crosshairs. And Sky, personal best 106, 104 for him. He's also catching up to Daniel Barger. He's going to try to score his championship win in style. Nine seconds now. Here comes Duciem and Cashew. Cashew managing to defend his position against Duciem. Here's that Sky, also trying to provide some challenge to Barger. And of course, Sky isn't gaining a lot of time on Barger. Barger's now back up into the 106s, the lap times that he is very much comfortable with. But can he gain 35 seconds on Jay Goodwin? That will be the big question. Jay Goodwin is now, of course, stuck behind lap cars himself. And Sky with a flat 106. Barger slowly catching up, and slowly but surely. Here's So Byung-eun, and at the background that is Daniel Barger. So Byung-eun still stuck behind Ho Fumi, who is stubbornly causing trouble to Byung-eun right now. Here is Cheon and Cashew, and now Cashew finally makes the move on Irie Nakamura. He's now up in 9th place. .108 flat for Byung-eun. Daniel Barger will be setting a 106.847, so he gains a second lap here. But the problem is that we have less than 20 laps to go here in Sportsland Sugo. Jay Goodwin is, of course, still struggling behind the lap cars of Jeff Rohan and, of course, Maverick Duciem, Nakamura, and Cashew, and they're only setting a lap time of 108. So you could say that Barger is gaining over a second a lap, but he's close to gaining 2 seconds a lap. Here's the lap times for Nakamura: 108.4, 108.0 for Goodwin, and we have a bit of a combination. Oh! What has happened to Jay Goodwin? He had to brake very, very hard there. Coming into turn 1, he might... I think he got brake checked. Oh, you can was looking at the replays, and he locked his brakes, and that will lose him a lot more time than usual. 107.7 for Byung-eun. Looking at Daniel Barger right now, 106.875. 1.2 seconds is the time that he's cutting every lap. But remember, lap cars are in the way of, like, 4 lap cars are in the way of himself and So Byung-eun and Jay Goodwin, so that is something that he needs to monitor in the coming laps. Of course, the sun is shining and the cars can get a bit more optimal grip in those tires. .107.7 finally for Jay Goodwin once again. Despite the blunders that he has had, Jay Goodwin just needs to keep his car under control. Time is running out though for Barger. He's only 32 seconds behind Jay Goodwin, but he is at the very least able to secure his best finish in Formula Hololive up to this point with a second place. And here's Duciem against Irie Nakamura, who is currently slowed in 10th place, holding up Duciem and Rohan. and crucially Jay Goodwin. Here's Olgor against Guyana. And here's Leo. Of course, there's no changes in the lineup as, or rather the running order as it stands right now. Of course, the Reza brothers are having an off day right now. Second Reza, of course, retired in the last race at Suzuka. Second Reza, of course, went on to win it. And looking at Hofumi, who is still holding up So Byung-eun. Apologies for the slight background audio. I'm using a background mic that is not good in filtering the sound, but we're trying the best we can. It's the safest one yet, at the very least. So anyways, Barger now 4 seconds behind So Byung-eun. The gap is still at 31 seconds behind between himself and Goodwin. So he should, like we mentioned, he is still able to grab his best finish in Formula Hololive Japan at the very least. Of course, that still is not going to be enough. Well, doesn't beat his win at Burram in Hololive GT3, but of course, so he say it doesn't care about Hololive GT3 or the original uniforms at this point. This is the money game, of course, we say. Here's Barger again, now catching up to Mikolev and then to the Reza brothers. 106.830 compared to 108 and high 107s for the drivers at the back of the pack. Barger now moving ever so closer to the lap cars right now. He just needs to pass 3 lap cars, get into So Byung-eun, who is still struggling behind Hofumi. Meanwhile, Jake Goodwin is taking it ever so slowly. You know, he has a 30-second gap that he needs to convert into a race win. Barger still having this race under control, at least for his end. He's going to be able to clear Isakaiji Mikolev, his fellow Mikomet teammate. Say hi to the camera for both of them, as one of them is going to head to the Zako and the other will head to the Tsuyo. But crucially, here's Mikolev actually putting up a good fight against Barger as if they were still on the lead lap. Again, blue flag rules are broken in the Assetto Corsa, so bear in mind here. Anyways, here is So Byung-eun still stuck behind Hofumi. Daniel Barger is now ready to strike, but he needs to clear those 3 lap cars as we mentioned. Here's Byung-eun. And speaking of which, Olgor is catching up to Daniel Goyena, who is still in a pretty precarious position in the as far as the Tsuyo Cup qualification will say. Of course, Pekora is committed to both the original and bright uniforms, but she is showing preference for the bright uniforms, as does all the other Hololive members these days. So again, there's a huge amount of competition on who makes the Tsuyo and who makes the Zako. UCM now coming into the start-finish line to see if he could get close to Nakamura, but he's lost time actually, about 1/10 of a second, or rather nearly 2/10 of a second there. UCM against Nakamura, so he's going to be under pressure from Rohan and Asano. Both of them also bound for the Zako Cup, unfortunately. Olgor still trying to catch up to Goyena, who has been able to attack Olgor in the previous few laps. Just want to check on the microphone again, see if it's still good. Please report, please report. I think it's still good. We're gonna take a slight pause in commentary due to, of course, me being the only one who is available at this time, unfortunately. So please bear in mind, everyone, as we're keeping this commentary thing going, although there's going to be some pauses to rest the throat. So, speaking of which, with less racing action to report here, at the very least we have Olgo and Goyena causing trouble to each other, and of course there's a battle on who gets to finish in the final points positions. Currently it's being held by Mohamed Shazin Reza. Of course Hofumi is also there as well, but he is holding out So Byung-eun crucially. Just between Goodwin and Byung-eun and Barger have opened up, unfortunately, with due to Hofumi being the leader of the trolley train. As you can see here, Byung-eun still finding some some gap in space to overtake Fumi. And Mikalev has been overtaken by Daniel Barger crucially, and here comes Ed Sky, actually, who has been able to catch up to the battle for second. The battle for second is currently in between the battle for 14th as well. So it's going to be a case of whoever blinks first in these final 13 laps here to see who will be the victors here. Ed Sky one car away from him and Barger. Barger currently up in third place. Here comes Barger exiting around the main straight. Will he get close there to Chakareza? The answer is no. However, Sky is making a move against the Sakaramiko driver, Sekaiji Mikalev. As you can see here, there are moves being done, and that is a move done by Ed Sky. And now he is in a serious position to deny Barger his first podium since last year at Tokachi. Barger now on the defensive, while at the same time trying to find a way past Shakib Reza. He needs a good final corner good final corner this lap for him to have the better shot of making his way past Shakib Reza, and at the same time to get closer to So Byung-eun, who is still stuck behind Hofumi. Both of them have already picked up the pace. Barger now is about to make his move on Mohamed Shakib Reza. He's pulling alongside. He's side by side. Shakib Reza's not going to be happy about this. He's making his defensive line known. Ed Sky is also going to be looking at an intention to get himself closer to Barger by making a move as Shakib Reza. And now with one Reza out of the way, Barger's going to try to clear the other. Barger knows he's in a safe position in the Tsuyo Cup, but there's also pride on the line. He is doing it for the diamond in the rough, of course, Hoshimaki Suisei. Here comes Barger. Now trying to find as good of a final corner as he can against Shazin Reza, and as you can see here, this is what he's coming up with. He's getting close. He's gonna line up a move, I think. There he goes, but he has to back off. He's too far back. Meanwhile, Ed Sky is making his move against Shakib Reza. Battle for third is still heating up there in the final few laps here in the Sugo Grand Prix finale. Here's Jake Goodwin already crossing into the final corner. So Byung-eun is already 40 seconds behind Jake Goodwin. This could be the largest margin of victory that we might be seeing here in Formula Hololive Japan. Yeah, Goodwin, he is still stuck behind Jeff Rohan. So in between Byung-eun and Rohan, there is a good amount of little amount of separation between these drivers. 40 seconds the gap between Byung-eun and Goodwin continues to build on the gap. The strategy was spot on for Goodwin, as he's going to be set to make his way into the top step here in Sportsland Sugo for his debut Formula Hololive win. Okami Miyo's second in Formula Hololive and her third in AR Road competitions. And here comes Ed Sky, making his move against Barger. Too far back. Barger needs to at least survive the onslaught from Ed Sky while also thinking of a move against Shazin Reza. He needs to make sure that his move against Shazin Reza sticks. Meanwhile, we have Sheon making a move against Olgor. Olgor's down in 8th. Goyana stays in 6th. Olgor's hopes of making it to the Tsuyo Cup may come undone. Cheon is of course in a safe position, but for Olgor it's not. Olgor defends. They both rub wheels at the S-curve. And Mama Cash is gonna make his move, nearly making contact. Cashew and Olgor. Now Olgor's down in 9th place. His status inside the Tsuyo Cup is in serious jeopardy. Then again, Shaka Reza is not going to be scoring points, so his status is in even more of a jeopardy. But for now, we're going to stick to what we got right now. Olgor might just have enough at the very least to displace Mikolev, but with other drivers at the back who's also doing quite good. So Barger, who will be at the very least in the podium positions as it stands right now, is now has Mohammad Shahidin Reza in front of Barger, as Barger's finally cleared Mohammad Shahidin Reza. He's now going to have his eyes set on 2nd place. Goyana is up in 6th. He's gonna stretch the margins a bit. Same goes for Kizaru Lee inside the top 5. So it looks like Olgor just needs at least 7th for him to make the Tsuyo Cup. At least if he wants to displace Muhammad Shakib Reza. Shakib Reza might breathe a slight sigh of relief knowing that Olgor's now dropped down to 9th place. Oh, now Olgor is losing touch to Cashew, who is doing okay so far. Cashew, of course, is not gonna do enough to get himself into the Tsuyo Cup. Same goes for Hofu Mi, who is also bound for the Zako Cup. Rohan Asano will be bound to the Zako Cup. Also, Nairi Nakamura. Despite Hato's as a revival in bright uniforms in the 5th Fest, and in recent times, Nakamura has been able to provide the goods here. Seven laps to go here in Sportsland Sugo to conclude the Formula Hololive Japan Qualifiers 2024 season. Byung-eun with a 45-second gap behind Jake Goodwin. He's just ripping it through, and here comes the battle for a second that we've been looking for at the very least. Barger and Sky eyeing for So Byung-eun's in 2nd place. That looks to me it's a good run there by Daniel Barger. He might think of a move down the inside. There he goes. Daniel Barger has an amazing run at the final corner, tucking into the slipstream as much as he can. Now down the inside of So Byung-eun. Byung-eun has to defend. And Byung-eun manages to defend. That is some crazy racing at the final one. And now you can see Byung-eun finally clearing Hofu Mi. This is going to be crucial for Byung-eun to maintain his 2nd place spot. And as it stands right now, Sky is still in a position to win the Split B title. Looks to me that So Byung-eun will take 2nd place. at least in the split B standings. And you can see here, so now we have So Byung-eun pulling away. Barger tried, but it didn't work. And now Barger's chances is to at the very least get close enough to Ho-Fu-Mi. And as you can see here, S-Guy also trying to find any avenue that he can find with these fresher tires against Barger to make his move into third place to deny Daniel Barger for equaling his best finish in Formula Hololive. Five laps to go here in Sportsland Sugo. Jay Goodwin in complete control of this race. He has a 45-second gap. He can at least make room for mistakes, as long as those mistakes don't involve him crashing into a wall, or being stuck into tire barriers, being stuck in a gravel trap and all that stuff, or having any car damage. He just needs to bring this home in one piece. Okami Mio, she likened herself to miso soup. While it's not the flashiest of foods, it is still a reliable food that you can fall back on. But Jay Goodwin isn't going to settle for that. Jay Goodwin is going to channel the same energy that Zeke Wimberly has had last November here in Sportsline Sugo in the Sugo Super Prix, for him to actually show why he is the deserving Miofa member to lead the way for Okami Mio in Formula Hololive and of course Hololive GT3 going forward. Jay Goodwin makes his move to lap Duciem, but Duciem is going to give him a challenge. And you can see here Daniel Barger is actually still stuck behind Ho-Fu-Mi. This guy trying to make a move against Barger with those fresher tires, but it's just not there. You can see here Barger gaining more on Fumi than Sky did on Barger. All Sky needs is a very good exit off of the final corner and stucking in behind the slipstream. He just needs to trust the car more. Oh, and that's a very good run there by Ed Sky. He's gonna make a move down the inside. He might still make the dive. Barger having to adjust his lines to make sure that he's able to defend. 4 laps to go for them. Here comes Yu Chaeyeon. Kizaru Leo making a move. Kizaru Leo is going to try to make him go put himself into 6th place. Daniel Goyana up in 5th to further strengthen his aspirations in the Tsuyo Cup. Mohamed Cashew now moves up into 7th place. And Rim Olgor is going to try to at the very least limit the damage that he's going to be getting if he wants to continue making his way into Tsuyo Cup. Ozora Subaru showing her commitment to the bright uniform as much as everyone else is doing. That is. And that Sky now making a move against Daniel Barger down the inside at horseback corner. And this will mean that Ed Sky will now be in the podium positions, but he still needs to clear Ho-Fu-Mi. Jay Goodwin, now 3 laps to go for him. For them, they're about to start their 3 laps to go. Barger's losing touch to both Ed Sky and Ho-Fu-Mi. Ed Sky's making a move down the inside. He's gonna try to clear him as soon as possible. Ed Sky up in 3rd place. Heartbreak at least for Daniel Barger, at least in terms of trying to get himself a podium finish. But here comes Ed Sky, still side by side with Ho-Fu-Mi. Will it end in tears? It's not gonna be, it won't be this time for Fumi, but for Ed Sky, it definitely won't be, as Ed Sky now hangs on to 3rd place. Meanwhile, Chashu and Cheon going side by side all the way at Rainbow Corner. They've been side by side for much of the lap. And now we get to see Goyena now battling Kizaru Leo for the top 5 spot. This gets very interesting here, at least in the midfield. Another move there for Guyana. He's now up into 5th place. The lap car of Isekai Jimekalev now causing some trouble. Round the outside goes Daniel Goyana. He's trying his best to get some slipstream and something against Guyana. We will have Mama Cashew going side by side with Kizuhara Leo into the main straight, coming into turn 1. And that looks like Cashew up in 6th place. A swan song moment for Cashew, but not before Kizuhara Leo fights back. Final lap has just started for Jake Goodwin. The miso soup is going to become a gyudon based on how Jake Goodwin has been performing for Okami Mio. She may be serviceable to her own eyes, but she is a life changer for many more around. Hundreds of thousands, a million of them have called Okami Mio their Oshi. And as for Jake Goodwin, he is one of them. And just like Zeke Wimley last year at the Sugo Super Prix, he's gonna be able to bring it home for the Miofa and Okami Mio as Cashew gets up into 7th place. 2 corners to go for Jake Goodwin. Jake Goodwin is gonna be howling about this win for years to come as he has one more corner to deal with. Jake Goodwin for Okami Mio and the Miofa is going to win the Sugo Grand Prix. Kizuhara Leo and Cashew pass each other on the final lap. Roha and Asano go into the Zako Cup. Fumi, the Reza brothers, and Mikolev. Fumi and Mikolev will be bound to the Zako Cup. Sheldon Reza will be safe for now. Shakib Reza may not. Olgor still down in 9th place. He's in a must-win. He's in a must-pass scenario if he wants to maintain his hopes in the Tsuyo Cup. So Byung-eun is in the final corner right now to confirm his ticket into the Tsuyo Cup, as does Ed Sky, riding on the final corner for him. He's had a very consistent season despite not winning a single race. Ed Sky's going to cross the line to win the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan Split B Championship. And Mama Cashew has crashed on the final lap. And this will put Rimo Olger in 8th. Danilo Guyana up in 5th. Barger 4th. And it looks like Barger will be in the Tsuyo Cup as well. Guyana is set in the Tsuyo. Leo also in the Tsuyo. Cheon in the Tsuyo. Olgor unknown. Nakamura, Zako, Dusiem, Tsuyo. Cashew finally crosses the line at 11th. He's still able to finish this race in 11th at the very least. But what a race that was! Jay Goodwin, the deserving winner of the Sugo Grand Prix. Ed Sky, the deserving winner of the Formula Hololive Japan 2024 Split B title. So let's take a look at Jake Goodwin, who wins the Split B race of the Sugo Grand Prix for Okami Mio. Congratulations for him. Okami Mio now has 2 wins under her belt in Formula Hololive competition. So Byung-eun makes it into the Tsuyo Cup for Shiranui Flair, who's also fully committed to the bright uniforms. At Sky brings home 3rd, and with it the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan Split B Championship. The Split B champion, ladies and gentlemen, Ed Sky. Danny Belger has got to be fuming a bit that he didn't finish in the podium in the last race of the qualifiers, but given his performance here, he should be good enough for the Tsuyo Cup at the very least. Danilo Guyana for Zara Picora finishes 5th, and Kizuhara Leo for Murasaki Shion 6th. They will make the Tsuyo as well. Yu Chaeyeon, after a good run in the qualifiers, will make the Tsuyo Cup on points for Takane Louis. Rim Olgor is in a very precarious position. We'll have to watch and look and find out to see if Rim Olgor gets the Tsuyo Cup or not. Iron Nakamura is bound for the Zako Cup, unfortunately, so but not for DCM, who is still in the Tsuyo Cup on points. For Mikolev, Shakib Reza, for Mikolev, he will be in the Zako. Same goes for Asano, Hofumi, Jeff Rohan, and Wamakashi. They will be in the Zako. So right now, we are looking at Rim Olger and Shakib Reza in a precarious position, and whether or not they will make the Tsuyo Cup or not. Cashew 11 for Watami, Jeff Rohan 12 for Toa, Hirota Asano 13 for Aqua, Fumi 14 for Sora, 15 goes to Shakib Reza for Memorial Luna in his final Formula Hololive Japan race. Not the way that he wants to go out, but at the very least he brought the car to the finish line. And as what Memorial Luna said, It doesn't matter where you finish. Just bring the car to the finish. That is what Luna cared, and that is what he can do, and at least that will bring a smile on Luna's face. And for the Lunas involved, this will be this is going to be a bittersweet moment as the 2023 champion is bowing out from Formula Hall of Japan. Masaki Reza 16, no points for him. He's going to be in a precarious position as we mentioned. And then there's Isakaji Mikolev, last place. So we're going to go on to replay a bit just to check on Mohamed Cashew and what has happened to him. So let's take a look into what happened to Mohamed Cashew. So he was side by side with Yu Chaeyeon, and Cashew just went off wide. But fortunately for Cashew, he was able to continue. Has to wait until the traffic has subsided. So we're gonna go on to Cashew's onboard just to see what has happened. Oh. And then we are going to check the onboards for especially Rim Olgo, who was behind all this. So let's take a look into Rim Olgo's onboard to see what's happened. Oh, that's just very, very wild there. And then going into Kizora Leo's onboard, especially the rear view. This might give a bit of a reprieve for Rim Olgo, but we'll have to check the points situation a bit further. So as it stands right now, we're at the very least going to present the Split B trophy to Ed Sky as the 2024 Formula Hall of Japan Split B champion. So ignore the penalty thing, but whatever. 2024 Split B champion goes to Ed Sky for Kazuma Iroha. Congratulations. Anyways, that being said, let's move on into the final championship standings for Split B as we are getting into the end of the race. Unfortunately, the Assetto Corsa is bugging out once again, so we are gonna have to end the stream here. We will update you on who makes the Tsuyo and who makes the Zako on both YouTube and Twitter. Please stay tuned on both of these channels for updates. With that being said, congratulations to Ed Sky for winning the Split B title. Congratulations for Daniel Barger for making the Tsuyo Cup by finishing 4th. That being said, I'm Mamasha and Riza in the commentary booth, and you've been watching the 2024 Formula Hall of Japan Qualifiers season, the Split B race at the Sugo Grand Prix. We'll see you in a few weeks' time for the start of the Tsuyo Zako Cup.